Got enough room, AJ?
Yeah. Good.
So what do I hit here?
I'll show you. Yeah, hit the share.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your Facebook.
Got it. It said shared to Facebook, so what's that mean?
It means it's shared.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we will be with everybody in just a few seconds. We'll make sure that we're live. How does that look up there? Does that look live up there to you, Jess?
Yeah.
Let's see if we could see ourselves, and then we'll get we will get going here. All right. All right. Well, I am AJ Hiller. I'm here with my good friend Jesse, the OG Oltmanns. Jesse, how you doing today?
Good, buddy. Good.
Good, good. Thank you so much for coming in. I know that we have a lot to talk about. You know, your career, your current situation, your future plans. We could literally be here for hours, but we're gonna try to get as much in as we could in the shortest amount of time. We're gonna give you guys the opportunity to call in, ask Jesse some questions. The number to call in is 570-202-9200. Give us a little bit, and Jesse will be open to answer questions. So Jesse, you know, we'll jump right into it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about your boxing career. You've had, you know, one heck of a boxing career. You fought some of the top names in the sport, world champions. You fought.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about that?
You know, I was thinking about it on the way down here a little bit about what's going on, and you know, I was very fortunate to be able to protect my career as a fighter.
Right.
What I mean by that is when you're a fighter, you have this drive, you have this where you have to fight, you have to, like, you just got to get in there, no matter what the cost. And you know, and what I mean by how I protected my career is, you know, I just didn't jump in there with anybody. You know, like there were times when I had to, you know, in order to pay the bills, in order to you know, to fulfill that beast, you know, that thing that drives you. You know, it's like anything. It's, you know, somebody obsesses over something, they need to fill that drive, right? So you know, I was just very fortunate to be able to protect it, because I came down here to the gym and I would just train daily, and I would get my fix that way. I would just keep training, and I would wait for my calls. You know, did it hurt me in the long run? I want to say, yeah, it did hurt me by doing it that way. But in the same sense, you know, I still was able to make a career out of boxing.
Right.
You know?
And you did. You fought some of the biggest names, and I could imagine. You know, we'll go back a little bit before that. You started off doing Toughman competitions, right? And you know, Butterbean. He's probably one of the Butterbean and Tommy Morrison were two of the better known Toughman champions, world champions, national champions. But that was something that you also did, and you were also champion of Toughman, right? So
yeah.
So that's basically how you got your amateur boxing record is by doing these Toughman competition. Why don't you talk about a little bit about that? Because I remember you telling me the one time that you went out to the nationals.
Yeah.
Right.
I went out to the nationals in Mississippi. What was it, based? No, that was based in Michigan. I fought in, but it was Biloxi, Mississippi. That's where it was. Anyhow, I just, one day I was 18 years old, and I seen this Toughman contest. You fought in it with me, remember? Out in Scranton. And I was like, let's do it. I'm a pretty tough guy. Let me go and see how tough I really am, And I went there. That was my first one. I lost. And then after that, it was just, balls to the wall. I just gave it hell, you know what I mean? I was in either 10 Toughmans, I won 8, or I was in 8 Toughmans and I won 6. I really don't, I have to sit and count. Yeah. But what happened was I won the Scranton one the following year in 1995. I won that one, and they invited me out to fight in the Nationals in Biloxi, Mississippi. So, and that meeting, and there was like 50, I want to say 52 fighters, and there was one from each state. I was fighting for the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's awesome.
I went out there, things didn't go my way. I had a great time. It was a great experience. And, then that's when my life just took a change. It went from, because these Toughman contests, you weren't really training for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was jumping off a bar stool going through these things.
Yeah.
And, like it was just a whole nother, just moved up to a whole nother level.
Yeah, there was no training. There was no nothing. It was you get in there for a minute, three 1-minute rounds, which felt like it was about 3-pound boxing gloves on, but they weren't. They just felt,
and 60 now.
Yeah, and you just got in there and did it, and it was that's amazing. If whether it was 6 that you won or 8 that you won, that's still absolutely amazing. So then you had a great amateur career, and then you.
Well, let me back up a little bit too. Like, and in those Toughman contests, we would fight one night to qualify.
Yeah.
And then the next night, you could fight up to 5 times in one night.
Yeah.
Before you go into the finals.
Right.
And that was probably, that was a great experience for me going into amateurs for a quick minute and then turning pro.
Yeah. Yeah. And back in the day, you see. Jesse, whether he was in the Toughman competition or fighting as an amateur, and even fighting as a pro, now amateurs, very rarely do you see like a knockout. I think all your amateur fights, all the amateur fights that I've seen of you, was a knockout.
Every single one.
Yeah. So,
and a true knockout. It
right.
wasn't a TKO.
Yeah.
That bullshit. It was real.
Right. So, what's your record in bar fights? No, I'm only kidding. I even say that because everybody up here in Stroudsburg, Jesse's born and raised up here in the Poconos, Stroudsburg, East Stroudsburg area. Everybody knows Jesse Oltmanns, and everybody has a story about Jesse Oltmanns. Mostly good stories, and most of them are about him fighting. Whether it was in the Toughman, in the ring, or in the bar. So he's got one hell of a reputation up here in the Stroudsburg area, and I'll tell you what, it's the best thing is to be on his good side, because not only is he a tough son of a gun, but he's probably one of the best guys I've ever met. Whenever you need Jesse, he's there. Whether it's helping you put in a screen door, or power washing a deck, or blowing off the leaves, he's always there for you. So I thank you for everything that you've done. So currently, why don't you talk about what you're? Well, first of all, before we keep going with this boxing career, this man fought Deontay Wilder on what less than a week notice? On less than a week notice. And tell us about when you got that call.
Well, I got that call, and they wanted me to fight this up and coming heavyweight in Mexico, and truthfully, I was so down. I was down and out. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't have. I just lost everything, right? And so what I needed, and what? Let's just get honest here. I had a broken arm. I had a torn ACL and I had a broken hand also, and they were all from fighting. They were all from training actually, and I was trying to train, and I was sitting with a broken arm for like 8 months, and they called me to fight Deontay Wilder, and I was like, okay, I'll take it, right? Because I had to, because I had to get my arm fixed. Because what happens is when you sign a contract for a pro fight, they give you an insurance on that pro fight. So I had to take the fight, and I had to so I can get my arm fixed. You know what I mean? And I went down there, and I mean, you guys can see it on YouTube. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
He was definitely, Deontay Wilder himself. He's a great guy. You know what I mean? I can't take nothing away from him. He hits hard. It was a great experience to do that. I went down there by myself. Actually, one of my Mexican trainers. I'm sorry, I brought my one Mexican trainer with me. We went down there, and we just gave it our all. We did the best we could. Deontay Wilder, as a person, is a great guy. You know what I mean? They treated me like I was a celebrity down there. 5-star restaurants. Where was it? At the Oasis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a beautiful resort that the fights were at. I must have taken 100, like at least over 100 pictures with Deontay after the fight. And you think I would have one? You know what I mean? I mean, just from everybody taking pictures of us.
Right.
So it was nice to meet him. A really humble guy. I can't say the same for the Bronze Bomber. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bronze Bomber.
Yeah.
I still crack his head. You know what I mean? Man.
Yeah.
But that's that was, what would it be called? Like, it was really like
an experience of a lifetime, I'm sure.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, and just to say that you shared a ring with that man. I mean, he was at, just up until recently, the baddest man in the world.
Yeah.
And for you to take that fight, I think it was Deontay's 20th or 21st fight.
Yeah.
With 2020 first fight with 20 or 21 knockouts. So you knew what you were getting into there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember you telling me, I'm going to knock this man out. That was your 100% intention. You didn't go in there thinking, I'm going to lose this fight. You went in there to beat this man.
Yeah.
No,
I went in there to beat him. I mean, even though I had a couple things with me, like I still can't use that for an excuse, because your adrenaline is so high.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel any of that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, when it's time, it's time.
Yeah.
And just how they stopped it, like, it's really a good thing that they did stop it, because I might have got seriously hurt.
Right.
But in the same sense, my boys were home watching me.
Yeah.
And that's what I think what really busted my pride and my ego, because I knew my two sons were watching me on TV.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But if you even watch the fight on YouTube, it almost looks like, I know that he hit you almost like behind the head. It was almost like the momentum put you down and you got right back up.
Yeah. Well, what happened was you can see it on YouTube. He hit me and I went and fought him with a torn ACL. When he hit me, my leg went out.
Oh, okay.
That's what made me hit the ground. I mean, don't get me wrong, he hit me hard, but I mean, he hit me off balance. But and I think really why the ref stopped it is because he seen how hard I went down, but he didn't. But nobody knew that I had a bad knee.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was the last thing I was going to tell him. So hey, shit happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, like you said, it was a great experience. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know Jesse comes here. He trains at my gym here at MMA Signatures Academy. Nobody works harder than this man. He's 45 years old, and you wouldn't know by looking at him that he's, you know, middle age, you know, mid 40s, because he comes in here and he's here for hours, and you know, he trains with everybody who comes in. There's nobody that can keep up with him. You know, he's literally in the best shape of his life, and which brings us, you know, to today, because, you know, you're still training, whether it's for a you know, a call for boxing or bare knuckle. I don't know if everybody's seen a video circulating of you calling out anybody in bare knuckle, and I know, you know, you had a lot of calls on the bare knuckle.
Yeah.
I think that thing, you know, tons and tons of views,
Yeah.
you know, on Facebook and YouTube for that video. So you guys definitely have to check it out. I'll share it on the underneath the comments and the link, so you those who are watching could check out this video. It's a funny video, you know, it's a funny and serious video,
right?
You know?
And then that's why I did it. Like, I didn't do the video to you know, be a goofball.
Right.
I did the video like that to get people's attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it worked. You know, like, I'm a street fighting mother. You know what I mean? Like, I could street fight.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, that's fucking real.
Right.
You know, and like, I'm a better street fighter than I am a boxer.
Yeah.
Like, Jason Statham ain't got shit on me.
Right.
Right. And that's the reality of it. So when I did that video, and I got, man, you know what? I never even let people know what happened. Yeah. You know, I got this video. I did this video. You know, I called out. I was even donating a percentage of everything to St. Jude's, I believe. Yeah. And anyhow, you know, I had two of the world's bare-knuckle. I don't know if they were champions, but like, they are in it, you know. Mm-hmm. And they called me up. It was Corey Williams and Andrew Bakewell, I believe it is, from UK and from Wyoming. And you know, I talked to the guys. Dude, I'm embarrassed. Like, there's no money. There's no money to be had, no money to be made. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even going to tell you what they offered me, you know? And I understand it wasn't them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't them. That's what the show offered.
Right. Like, that's the budget that they have to.
Yeah. Like, that's where the bare knuckle was.
Yeah.
I even got in touch with a guy from Ireland. Mm-hmm. You know, they wanted me to go there for nothing. And here's the thing, man, like, when I fight, it's like, I'm looking to get hurt, you know, like, I'm looking for pain, you know, like, because that's I'm not looking in there to go in there and fall down. Right. You know, you can watch any of my videos, anything, you know, whether I lost or not, like, I never quit, you know. And in a bare knuckle fight, like, you know, they can get serious real fast. Yeah. You know, so I called these guys, or these guys called me. I even went to go have breakfast with one guy, and you know, we couldn't come up with nothing, like, definitely money wise. Yeah. So I tried staying in touch with him, and I said to him, then I texted him in some other way, you know, about you know, maybe we could do this, and you know, I tried running the show, and it's a shame. It's a shame how, like, people don't even know, you know, all they see are the Mayweathers and the, you know, Deontay Wilders, and, you know, they're making millions and millions, but they don't know the sacrifice, you know, these other fighters are making to try to get up to those millions. Right. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's nuts. So currently, like, what are your goals for the next year? Where do you see yourself in the next year?
You know what, AJ? Like, I don't even know. Like we were coming here to do this, and I was going to do some, you know, calling out, and like, my whole perspective changed. Yeah. You know, like, my whole, maybe this is it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm done. Like, maybe I said to myself, I said, Jesse, you got to make a commitment, you know, till you're 46 to give it hell, you know, and I don't know, I didn't fucking work out too well, right? And it's because I tried driving my own train a lot of the way, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Like I got one more year. If I get the right phone call this year, like if you know what it is if I can go and give it hell just one last time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and then quit, that would be good. But you know what? Really, I'm good if I'm done today.
Yeah. I mean, you've had one heck of a career. You have absolutely nothing to prove, you
Right.
know, but I understand what you're saying about just that one last shot,
Yeah.
you know, and that's when you're a competitor, it's in your DNA. You'll always want to compete for the rest of your life.
Right.
You know, and that's just, it's in the DNA. But the one good thing is you could compete through your son, because Jesse's son is
Right.
actually supposed to have made his pro debut April 11th, because of the whole COVID, that was later in the year. So now, you know, you're starting almost like a new chapter in your fighting life, where you're going to be fighting under your fighting behind. I don't want to say behind, but fighting through your son,
Right.
almost.
Right.
You know, and I know that'll make you proud. I know we did a pro am show. What's that? 2 years ago?
It was three.
3 years.
Three.
3 years ago
to
today.
the day.
It was
Yep,
3 years ago
day.
today. Yeah, we did a pro am show, and it was the first time. I I think the first time a father and son fought on the same card. Right. One amateur, one pro.
It was
It,
right. That's how
Yep,
it was.
yep. It was done pro before with the
Ever.
Spank brothers, or the father and the son Spank, Spanks. But I don't think it. I think it was the first time ever, father and son
Amateur
and
pro.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was pretty dynamic. So that's been 3 years since your last fight.
Yeah.
And those of you that don't know this, ever since that fight was on a Saturday. That Monday, Jesse was back in the gym, and he has not stopped training since that fight, waiting for that call. And he's got the call several times. And I just hope you get that one last call that says, you know what, this is it. And you say, all right, let's go and do it. And,
Yeah.
You know,
well, I mean, don't get me wrong here. I'm not going to tell everyone that I haven't been getting calls, because I always get calls. You know what I mean? But it's either something's the matter with the money, or something's always the matter with the weight class. You know what I mean? Cruiserweights don't call me. You know, I'll fight any motherfucking cruiserweight.
Right.
You know, I'll fight them for nothing. You know, they always call me for the 6'8" giants. You know, and I've done that road before. Yeah. You know what I mean? Put some money up, then we'll talk about it. You know, because like I said, I go in there to get hurt. You know, so let's make it worth it. You know, let's make it worth it. But anyhow, about my son, I'm so proud of my son. You know what I mean? He just went down to Mayweather's. I ain't gonna say camp because they weren't open, but he went down there. He did a lot of training with a lot of guys down there. Coach Dewey, Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, we went down there with Rocky, and I'm proud of him. You know, because that's an experience. One, he'll never forget, no matter what happens in life. You know what I mean? And two, I can't even explain it. Like his inner experience. You know what I mean? Like now he could see more of his picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could see more of what he needs to do and has to do.
Yeah.
And it's not about dad telling him. You know what I mean? Like he went and he found out his own experience for himself.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So.
And same thing, I was proud of him. And it's something that you and I have talked about for a while is, you know, he literally, he should go out there for a year, put his life on hold for a year, dedicate himself for a year, live that lifestyle. He won't want to come back because of the experience that he's going to get out there. And, you know, the right people are out there to see him, and who knows, sign him and put him to the next level.
Absolutely.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is send your kid off, but if it's going to better them, and if it's going to, you know, set them up for their future, it's the best thing for them.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I've seen, you know, I talked to him a couple of times that he was out there FaceTiming him and Rocky, and, you know, he was happy out there, you know, like he looked happy.
Yeah.
You know, he's surrounded by the right people. And I told him next time you go out there, make sure it's a one-way ticket.
Mhm.
You know, go out there, don't set a date to come back. And I think he got his little taste of it out there.
Mhm.
And there's great trainers out here in the Northeast. Don't get me wrong. There's great people out here in the Northeast, but it's always good to do a little bit of traveling.
Absolutely. And the more experience you have, then you'll be able to choose what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? What's good, what fits you, and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Where to go, and who to talk to, who not to talk to.
Yeah.
It's like anything else in this world. He's gotta find the bullshit, eliminate it, and get right down to the nitty gritty.
Right.
And he's learning that, and I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? I'm really proud of him.
Yeah. Now you have another son too.
Oh yeah.
He has two sons named Jesse.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's actually easy because
that was just my ego back then.
Yeah.
Was just like
so why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
And he's doing fabulous. He's married. I got a beautiful granddaughter. I got another granddaughter on the way. Her name might be Ella. At least that's what my other granddaughter believes. But I'm actually with him almost every weekend. We're always doing odds and ends, and I'm just proud of him. I watch him. I just watch him do things, and like he shows me how to be a dad.
Right.
It's not that I wasn't a good dad, but I was more of a best friend. You know what I mean? I knew how to hang out with my boys.
Yeah.
But let's get off that shit, right? I didn't come here with that bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm just so proud of him because I just see, him doing the things he needs to do and being a man.
Right.
Yeah. And both of them.
Yeah.
Like I could not ask for anything more.
Right. And I'll tell you what, you did a great job raising these kids. Me, myself, I try to set a good example, for my son, hey, do this because this is how I do it. You were in a position, don't do what I do. No, I'm only kidding.
That's exactly what it was, it's exactly what it was.
But I know I see you around your kids, and you have a great relationship with them, and I know that you love them, and I'm excited for your second granddaughter. I mean that's amazing, and I'm sure there'll be more. Grandsons and granddaughters.
Yeah.
But now that it's coming, over the next year, one of the things that I've talked to Jesse about for years and years and years is, him becoming a trainer here at the gym because he has so much to offer. And this could be like he can make a career out of being a trainer. Right now, he owns a construction business. He does roofs, everything. So if you do need your roof done, I would call this man. He does a great job. I've referred him, I don't know how many times, and everybody's extremely thrilled every time that he comes. He won't rip you off like a lot of these other people. He may fall off the roof one or two times, but believe me, he'll get right back up. No, I'm only kidding.
Right back up.
But he does do a great job. And, so one of the things is, getting him in here to train because he has so much knowledge that he could pass on to these kids and up and coming boxers. So, even though, he still wants to fight and I still want to see him fight, I'd love to see him, fight tomorrow. I can't wait till the fighting chapter is done with your life and you can start passing on your knowledge.
Yeah. And that's definitely a possibility. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking into the long run. As soon as I hit 46, I'm looking into the long run, what I want to do, how I want to do it. I'm definitely going to get certified in training,
right,
boxing and fitness. I'm going to get certified in I'm thinking about being a sober coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about doing some personal security, you know. So, I take all three of them and I combine them, and then maybe I can keep up with the lifestyle that I'm trying to live today.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we're coming down here working with the kids. There's nothing more than, I want to say, the pleasure of, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I'll see a little kid standing out here in the hallway giving his mom a hard time. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, as soon as class starts, whether it's with Coach Rob or Coach T, or all of a sudden they're like at attention, and and I've seen moms come in and just say how the attitude of their child has changed. Their grades are getting better because now they have something to threaten them by.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like life skills for kids. They don't necessarily have to fight. They don't have to, be a fighter, but like it just changes them.
Yeah, it really does.
It does.
And if you think about probably 90%, if not more, of fighters, combat fighters, whether it's boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, they have some kind of story. Whether they were homeless, or they were in foster care, or their parents neglected them, or some 90% or probably more of fighters have a backstory. So many of them, boxing was their outlet. That was basically their rehab to learn about life, and to turn them into world champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Mike Tyson, I'd crack his wig too.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping he comes back.
Yeah.
And truthfully, like, even if he just comes back for one, like I ain't expecting him to stick around or stay around, but he's just, like, in order to be a fighter, like I was saying earlier, Deontay Wilder is such a great guy. He's a really humble, nice man. Yeah. Like, I can't even tell you enough, but a lot of people haven't seen him. They only see the Bronze Bomber.
Right.
That's his gimmick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a real gimmick. Like, there's a real Bronze Bomber. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, but Mike Tyson, he's just a great showman. Mm-hmm. No matter what it is, he's such a great showman. Yeah. And he just brings that life to people.
Yeah, he does. It's crazy to see how his life went. I mean, he went from like the baddest man in the world, mm-hmm. to he probably went up to about 325 pounds at one point. He was he was huge. He was maybe not 320. He was probably 250, 260, 270, maybe even more. You see the pictures from 2 years ago, and then you see him now. He's in just as good a shape now, appearance wise, as he was when he was, world champion. His physical, I don't know, injuries, or I know he owns a weed dispensary, so I'm sure he smokes a pound of weed a day, But I'm sure I still wouldn't want, me personally, I wouldn't want to get hit by him,
But all that hit and miss bullshit, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does look nice, and it's great for the crowd, and it's great for people that really don't know nothing about boxing, and but everybody looks great hitting miss.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, let's see. What he always used to say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Right.
Like, I'm sure, he could still get punched in the face.
Yeah.
But he isn't going to be moving like that in the ring.
Right. Yeah. I mean, anybody could look great for 10 seconds on a video.
Right.
That 10 seconds may have taken 8 hours worth of filming.
Right. And it's a great 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a machine.
No, he does.
Oh, beast, an absolute beast. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
So I am too.
You remember when we were younger, you're always like, can you imagine if Mike Tyson hit somebody without a glove, he'd kill him. Now he has the chance he could do a bare-knuckle fight, and he could possibly kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he probably had that old man strength now. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still a dangerous man.
Right.
And half the people that go up against him, are going to be in trouble. But I think they're only going to be in trouble because of the fear factor.
Right.
That's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not into that fear factor
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Mike's at least half of his fights were won before he even stepped in the ring,
Oh,
just because
absolutely.
mentally the
Absolutely.
opponent knew what was going to happen.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if the people buying the pay-per-views back then knew what was going to happen, you know, when we're paying that big bucks for 90 seconds, because they knew what was going to happen. His opponent,
Oh, I
obviously.
remember that?
Oh, yeah. You know, I remember you'd have to go, and I used to go down to the thing. I'd rent a box. They'd have it over, bring it to the house, you know, and watch a couple hours worth of fights up until that point, and then Tyson would come out, and you know,
10 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's amazing. So,
but and he's going to sell. Like,
without a doubt.
Without a doubt, he is going to probably sell. He's going to be one of the most highest paid pay-per-views ever.
Without a doubt.
With Mike Tyson.
I think he's more popular now than when he fought. Do you know that?
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I really do.
I think so.
Everybody knows Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And love him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love him. He's such a great guy. Like, and love him.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's good. So anything else? What else do you have to talk about? Excuse me. Wow.
I don't know. My whole
You have any shout outs? Anybody shout out?
Oh yeah, you know what? Because there's, you know, you got all these small businesses that are you know, they're just starting to get slam packed again, and a lot of people are going in. You know, I got Competition Tire in Tannersville, Pennsylvania. You know what? Like, if you need something done to your car, get it there. You know, I got my girl Jennifer Salon up 940 going toward Pocono Lake. Cuts hair. She's not open yet, but set up your appointment. You know what I mean? Like,
that looks like a fresh cut you got there.
It's a fresh cut. She actually came to my house.
Oh, good.
So
good.
If you get your hair cut there long enough and you become friends with her, maybe she'll go to your house.
Yeah, nice.
So, you know, then I got Key to Health Chiropractic. Let me tell you something, man. If you need to get adjusted, that is definitely the place to go. You know, there's just so many places. MMA signatures. We're about what? Hopefully the 22nd.
We're looking for the 22nd. We're thinking we're going to go green in the green phase probably around the 20th, which is a Saturday. So we'll wait for that Monday to open.
Yeah. No,
we're ready.
Yeah. No. You know, that's basically it. You know, like I went from one more year of fighting. I might have retired just now. I don't even know. I ain't even feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, so if somebody call me the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put it on the table. Put the contract on the table. Just don't talk to me on the phone with all the bullshit. Put the contract on the table.
Yeah.
Make it worth something.
Yeah. No matter what, though, whether you fight again or you don't fight, you've had one hell of a career. And,
I did.
You should be proud.
Let me tell you something. My career boxing was very good to me.
Yeah.
My opportunities in boxing, I've had 3 tremendous opportunities, and guess what? I screwed them all up. You know what I mean? It was all due to me, you know, and I could see that today. But other than that, and see, that's why I like how my kid is going out there and he's seeing things and doing things and he's getting the experience, you know, because I was fearful, you know, I was fearful. I sabotaged all my opportunities, right. You know, so, and it's just so good to see him out there and experiencing, you know, things that I haven't even experienced.
Yeah.
You know, so. But other than that, man, I'm fucking good.
Good. I know you're good. You know, and I know no matter what you do, you know, you always give 100%. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter of your life. And you know, I'm just glad that I could call you a friend, man. And I consider you one of my best friends. And you know, it was great to sit here and talk to you and let the people know who Jesse Oltmanns, the OG, is. And
OG stands for old guy.
Yeah.
My gangster days are over.
Yeah. he'll be back. You know, you'll see him one way or the other, whether it's in the ring or in somebody's corner. But you know, when one door closes, another one opens, and this is only going to be the beginning of Jesse, the OG Oltmanns future coming up, man.
Can I have a hug?
Of course.
I love you.
Love you, man. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching, and you know, watch out for OG and his son, and
What's his name now? Just Watch? Or
I think he changed it. Jesse the Dream.
The Dream?
I think that's
Is
what
that
it is.
All right.
If not, now it is.
Listen,
Jesse
kid's
the Dream.
fucking tough. He's gonna outpass me tenfold.
Yeah.
If he keeps doing what he's supposed to be doing.
And guess what? That's a father's dream.
Yes.
You know, and that's a father's goal, is to have his kids do better than he is, and that's
Absolutely.
what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
You know, you set up your kids for success.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks again for watching, and till next time, we're out.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Keith, how are you?